What have you learned in your weeks of deployment with the National Guard in New York, working on Staten Island, that you want to bring back to members of Congress when you reconvene?
Sure. Thanks for having me. It's good to see you. Look, what I learned and what I experienced was also something, quite frankly, that we all knew and were seeing well before, which is that we have heroes on the front lines right now. Our medical professionals, our nurses, our doctors, our physicians' assistants, and so many others are risking their lives each and every day to keep us safe. And they're going home and dealing with incredible stress as well, worried that they're getting their families sick, sometimes isolating themselves from their family. And we've had this discussion for weeks now about ways that we have got to be there for them. But this crisis will continue to go on, and their service continues to go on. All the people that you saw in that video, look, I didn't do anything. I was there for a couple of weeks, but they're still out there. And we've got to figure out a way to put the division aside, this blue state versus red state rhetoric that is bubbling up now. We have to think about them, who each and every day are putting the country first.
Congressman, this is the same place that had to rebuild, had to survive Hurricane Sandy, rebuild after Hurricane Sandy. And I was out there a lot after that and saw a spirit on Staten Island that is very, very special. And it's special to that place. Talk about what it's like when Staten Island comes together like this.
Well, first of all, we call them essential workers now. But the folks living on Staten Island and also in the South Brooklyn portion of my congressional district as well, these are the people who serve New York City. Cops, the firemen, the nurses, the teachers, first responders, sanitation workers. They're the reason why the lights of New York City go on. They are the folks who are putting their lives on the line each and every day, who we have said openly, you can't stay at home. You can't isolate like the rest of us. No, we need you. And it is a community filled with heroes, heroes who we only seldom recognize, but heroes who put their lives on the line and serve this city for their entire career. And they don't do it because they're looking for any thanks. They don't do it because they're looking for any outward forms of gratitude. They do it because they love this country and because they are true experts at their craft. And we should be thanking not only them each and every day, but thanking them with real wages and real protections. That's also what they're deserving of, not just our thanks.
And it seems that New York is past its peak, or perhaps past what might be its first peak. What do you say to people who are wondering how much longer they're going to have to observe these rules, Governor Cuomo's rules about this, when it seems to them like perhaps we're past the worst of it?
Well, first of all, we have to acknowledge the deep economic pain that people are going through. This is not just a health crisis. This is an economic crisis. And you're seeing, I see each and every day in my community, and I speak to small business owners who have given their entire life to their business, their entire life to their restaurant or their bar, doctors who have given their entire life to their practice, and they are seeing it slowly die before their eyes. And we have got to tell them that there is a plan in place for them to regain their livelihood. But the last thing that we want is for them to open up and then have to return back. We can't afford for that to happen. So we have to get the resources in from the federal government for testing. We certainly have to maintain the solidarity that we've maintained to date. And we're going to get this economy going again. This is the greatest country in the history of the world, and we're going to stay united.